everyone, my name's Ariella, and in today's video I'm going to be going over 10 ways on how to clear your cystic acne. So growing up, I had really bad acne, specifically really bad cystic acne that would just take over my face. Like, it was so bad. It was really painful. On top of that, I got bullied a lot for it, so it was just something I struggled a lot with when I was younger. And over the years, I just sort of did research, changed my diet, changed the way I did things, and I was able to clear my cystic acne. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over 10 of the tips and tricks that I learned over the years on how to cure cystic acne. So let's get into the video. So number one, the most important thing I think to clearing your acne is definitely your diet. This is something that you can go to different nutritionists and they'll tell you different things. So for example, growing up, I went to several different dermatologists and they all told me that diet didn't matter, but it really does matter. So probably the first and most important thing that I think you should cut out when it comes to your diet is your dairy. Because when you think about it, all dairy really is this is kind of gross, is like pus from cows, you know, like when they milk the cow's udders, you know, will get pus, and pus goes in there, and there's just a lot of unnecessary fats and things like that. So when you're drinking that, your body's detoxing that through your face. I don't know, it's just really gross. So something that's probably the most important thing. It's something that I recognize that whenever I do eat dairy, like ice cream, chocolate, or yeah, if I just have something that has dairy in it, I'll wake up the next day and I'll have an outbreak. So it's something that I definitely think that everyone should implement if you have cystic acne, is to cut out dairy. It's bad. Some of the other foods that if you have cystic acne that you should avoid are foods that contain high amounts of sugar, but processed sugar. Also things like caffeine. Caffeine, I feel like, also causes outbreaks. Not only that, caffeine dehydrates you, and when you have cystic acne, you need to be drinking a lot of water to just sort of flush out your toxins in your body. Another food that you should avoid is processed and fried foods. The reason for this is because processed and fried foods contain a lot of unnatural, unhealthy oils in them that just sort of excrete their ways through your face, causing acne. And a lot of unnatural flavorings and sugar, which is just not good for your acne, especially if you have cystic acne, and especially if you're trying to get rid of your cystic acne. These are the foods that you should be avoiding. The second tip that I have for you guys is changing your diet to having high vitamin content. So vitamins such as zinc, vitamin A, vitamin B, the list kind of goes on and on. But how I get my vitamin intake is just by consuming a lot of different types of vegetables. Vegetables tend to have the highest vitamin count, so I recommend eating a lot of vegetables such as broccoli, cauliflower, chickpea, spinach, kale, things like that. And I found that eating those high content foods just sort of help detox the body, so I recommend eating that. Not to mention they don't have saturated fats, things like that, which are very unhealthy for you in general, but also bad for cystic acne. Third tip that I have for you guys is to drink lots of water. I know I mentioned this earlier, but water is super important, especially if you have cystic acne. So what I recommend is when you wake up in the morning to drink about 2 big cups of water. About this size is what I recommend. So in the morning, right when I wake up, before I drink coffee, before I do anything really, I chug 2 big cups of water. And I found that this is a great way just to, 1, wake you up, 2, just sort of clean out your body, and it's just really good just to stay hydrated, especially because during the day, you know, you can get busy, forget to drink, but water is just generally really good for you. I found that it totally cures migraines, everything like that. So if you're well hydrated, you're gonna have nice glowy looking skin, and it's going to help clear your acne. The fourth tip that I have for you guys is exercise. So now this is something that I'm not following this rule of mine, but exercise is very important when it comes to clearing your acne. I think it's just because when you exercise, you're detoxing and you're sweating out all the toxins. So I definitely recommend, if you have cystic acne, to exercise regularly, following the other steps. The fifth tip that I have for you guys is to get sleep regularly. So when I was in middle school and in high school, I wasn't getting the best sleep, but that is something that is very important when it comes to curing your acne. So my general rule is I, on average, get around probably 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night, which I feel like to most college students that just seems like impossible, but it is if you go to bed early. So pretty much what I do is I go to bed around 9 o'clock every night, and I wake up around 7 7:30, and I found that this is just having like a schedule, a natural sleep schedule, decreases your stress, lets you wake up feeling refreshed, and just overall prevents stress, which prevents like acne breakouts. The sixth tip that I have for you guys is to change your pillowcases and your sheets regularly. So I know this can be hard at times because, you know, you might forget to wash your sheets and things like that, but it is very important to wash your sheets constantly because, you know, when you sleep, you get your grease on your pillowcase, and if you don't wash it regularly, you're just like reapplying that gross grease onto your face, which is not good for you. So what I recommend and what I do is I wash my sheets at least once a week, just depending on how it is. Sometimes I wash them 2 times a week, but it's definitely very important to get into the habit of washing your bed sheets at least once a week, just to help prevent, you know, laying in greasy pillow sheets. The 7th tip that I have for you guys is to get into a good morning and nighttime routine when it comes to washing your face, exfoliating, doing all of that. If you want to see a video, I can post one of just sort of how I take care of my skin, because this is something that's very important when you have cystic acne, is to keep on track of your skin regimen. So I normally do around 5-step routine that I do for both morning and night, and I've noticed that ever since I've sort of implemented this routine, I've seen a large increase in the glowiness and less acne that is on my face. So that's something that I think is very important, is to find a skin routine that works and to stick to it. The 8th tip that I have for you guys is don't look at your skin too much in the mirror. So now this is something that I struggled with when I was in middle school and high school, and I had really bad cystic acne. I would just stare at my face and, you know, just judge it and look at it, and that's something that is very unhealthy for your mental and just for you in general. If you have cystic acne, it's bad, but it's not that big of a deal, so don't stress on it too much, because the more you look at it, the more you fester on it, the worse you're gonna see it as, and the worse that it's going to become for you. The 9th tip that I have for you guys is don't pop your acne. So if you have cystic acne, you know that you can't pop it. It's so deep, it's so sore that you just can't pop it. So it's something that you want to avoid, you know, picking at and like trying to pop it. You don't want to do that, because it causes you to get what some of you may know, and what I know dear well in my heart, is scarring. And scarring is something you want to avoid when it comes to cystic acne, because you get with cystic acne you get very deep kind of craters, and that is something that's not cute, and you want to just avoid getting that, because once you do get the deep craters, it can be hard to break them down and exfoliate them off your face. I know that this is something that I had to do several treatments to get my acne scars, you know, down, and it just ends up costing a lot of money. So when you have cystic acne, I know that it can be really tempting to pick, but try to avoid. And the 10th tip that I have for you guys, which kind of goes along with the sleep aspect and sort of like just the overall looking at yourself, is to relax and avoid stressing out. I am a very stress prone person. Little things can make me very stressed out. So that is something that is very important to remember, is that if you have cystic acne, or if you just have bad acne in general, you're probably like getting stressed out is only going to make it worse. Even if you're not even stressing out about your acne, if you're stressing out about tests, if you're stressing out about family problems, if you're stressing about just anything, that can cause your acne to break out. So try to avoid stress as much as possible. I know that just kind of like, yeah, try to avoid stress, but it's really important to try. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that some of you guys found this video useful. If you do, don't forget to like and subscribe, and possibly leave a comment if you feel ever so inclined. Thank you so much for watching my video. Again, my name is Ariella. So thank you so much. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video.